Hey everybody, welcome to VTX Podcast Episode 4. This week's guest is hip-hop artist BBH SAMIR. I met him through my neighbor who's a Rutgers professor. He was taking a class with her, and she brought in a Malagasy jazz musician to record at VTX Studio, and BBH SAMIR sat in on the session, and we got to know each other a little bit, and we said, you know what, let's get in the studio and work. He brought in his friend Chris Blinnon. Spoiler alert, he's going to be on the next episode of VTX Podcast. And I started working with the guys in the studio. BBH SAMIR is pretty new to releasing music, but he's been writing for quite a while. And this episode is very interesting because he talks about some boundaries and borders he set up for himself that he had to knock down in order to get the confidence to be able to release music into the world. He talks about some of his philosophy and where he draws inspiration for some of his lyric writing and poetry, just about music in general. So there's a lot of great stuff in this episode. I hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, here's BBH SAMIR. BBH SAMIR
in the house.
In the house. Very new to the music game, at least putting stuff out.
Yeah, bro. For sure. I mean, just started, put out my first track legitimately in July. So just starting out. I mean, I've got 5 songs out right now. 4 of them are on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever streaming platform you can think of, it's there. But yeah, man, I mean, I've been doing music for a while in the sense that I've been rapping since I was in high school. I started out in this duo called Loose Definition with my friend there, but it's always been on the back burner. I've always had other priorities, other goals. But recently I graduated from University of Rutgers and I was like, all right, let me give this thing a shot. You know what I mean? So I said, fuck a part-time job. Well, fuck a full-time job. I need money, but fuck a full-time job. And let me see what I can do with this music thing, you know? So I'm glad to be here.
Hell yeah, man. And so you started releasing music officially about 4 months ago, right after you graduated college?
Yeah, man.
And 4 singles out in 4 months.
Yeah, pretty good.
And you just released one today.
Yeah, it's Remember Me, featuring my partner Chris Blinnon, who I've been working with a lot recently, and produced by this other guy we know, his roommate, Bonilla. So yeah, man, I'm excited about that song. I feel like every song I make, I just keep getting better and better, and I'm just prouder of at the same time. Chris was the one that got me into like wanting to do this to begin with, him and my other friend, Knowledge, because they were all starting up. The last 2 years, Crisp has been releasing a lot of content, and so has my friend Knowledge, and they had, a studio set up, and I've started featuring on some of their tracks. So I would drop a verse here and there. I'd come by whenever I had time, and then like people would be hearing my feature on the track, be like, damn, this guy's dope. Like, who the fuck is this guy, right? like with these verses. I was like, all right, like, man, maybe I should give it a chance with my own content, So yeah.
That's legit. Yeah. So 4 singles out and 2 features on Chris Blinnon's newest EP that just dropped.
2 features. We got Telemundo, which is a dope track. Recorded it right here at Vinny's crib. VTX Studios. Yeah. And we got another track called Rick and Morty, which is just a back and forth bars track. Man. So I'm excited about everything going on. I think for now we're just getting our ground solidified, and we're just gonna keep going up from there. So that's cool.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. A few times you had mentioned like how you involved with music throughout your whole life, but didn't really take it seriously.
Yeah.
You mentioned that maybe 2 or 3 times, and then at a certain point you were like, I definitely want to take it seriously and work on my brand and work on, marketing yourself. So talk about how that shift happened, like when you decided to start taking it more seriously.
Well, bro, I mean, I was raised, with strict parents. I mean, they're great parents. I love them, but they were never like on the whole music bandwagon. If I ever talked about music in high school, I remember trying to do some music, and they kind of just scoff at it or laugh at it a little bit, and that's cool. Like, I totally get why they did that. But I went to college, and I was a lot of what I was focused on was just my studies, like and then also I had a lot of health issues. I had a few concussions throughout university, and that set me back as well, where music was just like the last thing on my mind at that time. I mean, the music for me, I mean, I would write a verse, but that would just be to help me get through a situation. For me, it was all about helping my inner soul more than actually being something I'm like really serious about. Like, oh, I want the world to know about it. I think a lot of that had to do with anxiety about releasing content, about putting myself out there, because I'm not the kind of rapper that's just like rapping about basic shit. Like, I'm rapping about my life, my insecurities, shit that I've been through, people that have disappointed me, you know. So getting over that, I think getting over that, building confidence with myself, that was the first big thing for me where I was like, that's what stopped me for a while. And the last year, I think just really, I was just like, dude, fuck all that. Fuck that anxiety. Like, fuck feeling like I have to follow a strict path. Like, because sooner or later, I think I realized that, yeah, like, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for my inner soul, but my content has the power to help people. And I know I'm good enough to do it. Like, not to sound cocky, but for real, I know I'm good enough to make great music that people can hear and listen to. And that's the first thing you need, just the confidence to say that to yourself. I did a talent show in March of 2019, and I won $300. I won first place at the talent show. It was this like Rutgers talent show. There's 15 different acts, all kinds of acts.
That's great,
and
bro.
I won. Just thank you. Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, you're winning money, man. You're a professional now.
That's legit.
But that shit was huge for me, because once I was like, wow, like, I was good enough to beat 15 other people. You know, I was like, wow, these 2 songs I just wrote in my room were good enough to do that. Like, I better give this a shot, otherwise I'm gonna regret it.
That could definitely be a confidence boost. You know, when you get that like type of feedback from the crowd, and you know.
Yeah, man, it was huge. It was huge for me. Like, and then also having the people around me that are doing it, that's also big, because you can't. It's hard to say I want to do something and being like, okay, let me do this, but like, you know, who's around you supporting you? You know, who's around you that can bring you to the next level, that can text you and be like, yo, you got a verse today, right? And having that network around me in New Brunswick, you know, reaching out to people and creating those friendships, that was the biggest thing for me. Because when you see people releasing stuff, you're like, damn, I better start releasing stuff too, you know? Like, I better get on my grind.
Yeah.
When everyone's grinding, you get on your grind. That's how it goes. So yeah, man. Yeah.
Totally. Like, to have a network, to have a team.
Yeah.
Because, man, these projects, to be an artist and create music, create art is like already like a full-time job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's so much that goes into it depending on what your goals are and what you want to achieve in the industry. And, you know, having those people, you know, influence you and like keep that fire lit under you to keep working hard is a big thing. And also to, you know, to work on it as like a team and as a project. Yeah.
Yeah, working on it as a team. I remember we started a Snapchat group. Everyone we knew that rapped. You're like, all right, let's get together in a Snapchat group, and we need to come up with a name for people rapping in New Brunswick. Because New Brunswick has a scene, but like no one's hit it big. You know what I mean? Like, no one's really out there rapping for us like that. So we're like, hey, we could be those people.
Talk about the rap scene a little bit in New Brunswick. Like, I know there's some open mics and some different venues where things are going on.
I mean, man, it's a great scene, because we got a lot of lyrical rappers in New Brunswick. A lot of people talking about some real shit about consciousness, about good vibes, meditation. And then we also got people on that trap shit, and then also on that creative flow. I mean, New Jersey is such a hotbed of diversity that the music coming out of it, I think we have some of the best rap in terms of just like every single type of some genre of rap we've got out here. And that's something we can leverage. I mean, like, we're first going back to the whole Snapchat group thing, we were like, okay, what's our name? So our name for a while was just Rap Squad Names, trying to figure it out. Ended up being RSN, Rap Squad Names. That was our name for a minute, because we just couldn't think of anything. We're still working on that.
How hard is it to find names, to name a project, to name a squad or like an artist?
Dude, when you think about it, I feel like it's the easiest time to find names is when you're just like high as fuck one night and you're like, all right, thought of a name within 30 minutes, right? But if it takes longer than that, if you're thinking about it for like 3 days, you might as well just forget about it, in my opinion. Like,
and then there's like all this. There's always this opportunity for like an idea to just get shot down so hard by the crew. Like you come up with this idea, and sometimes like everyone's like, no.
Yeah. You're thinking about it all day. You're ready to pitch it. It's just done. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my first rap name was Loose Definition, which was a cool name. But I just didn't feel like it represented me. I feel like it was more of I don't know. I just feel like it was too long of a name, more of a crew name. And I felt like when I switched to BBH Samir, aka Bobblehead Sam shit, I don't know, man. That just felt better vibes with me. It's like a little goofy, but I felt like it represented who I was. And I felt like it's cool. Like I got my little Loose Definition on that bobblehead wave. I got my bobbleheads with me, representing and supporting me. Shout out to all my fans. So I like it, man. I like where I'm going. And the other thing is, once you get a name, the other thing that people don't realize is a lot of it's about the domain as well. So, like,
you mean like the website domain?
Yeah, the website domain or the Instagram handle, like
right.
BBH Samir. That shit wasn't taken. Like I had right. Yeah. The website, I got bbhsamir.com. That shit wasn't taken either, right? Whereas, like, okay, like if you think of, I don't know, man. There's a lot of names out there that like are already taken. So if you're an artist out there, like think about a name that's unique. Where if you search up that name on Google, what's the first thing that's gonna come up? It should be you, right? So you want to think of something that's like, I don't know, a little bit out there, a little bit different. BBH Samir. If you search that up, I'm the first person that comes up. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go off that because that's huge right now. Just that like online presence. So.
Dude, you hit a couple great points. Being unique with your name and that search engine optimization so that you can reach. But also how you have a little bit of goofiness or like humor in it. I think that's great. Like when people don't take themselves too seriously. Like obviously you want to take your art seriously, but like when there's like a little bit of a sense of humor in there, it's just really enjoyable for me. And
yeah, man. I mean, like, look, I'm a lyrical rapper. I'm a wordy rapper. I care a lot about my lyrics. I spend a lot of time just trying to decipher where I'm at. I consider myself more of a poet than an MC. So like, but like, I want people to realize that like, I'm also a bobblehead, like I don't take myself that seriously to the point where I'm like on this, like, oh, consciousness, like hitting you hard. Yo, my lyrics are deep as fuck wave. Like, nah, man, like I'm having fun with this, and I don't know where the next step is. Like my music could go anywhere. I don't want to be boxed in by anything, right? So, yeah, man, I like it.
So you just graduated Rutgers?
Yeah, man, just graduated from Rutgers University in New Brunswick.
Philosophy, right?
Philosophy and public policy. Yeah, those are my two majors.
Nice. And you mentioned that I think you put it open-minded cynicism or an open-minded cynic. You wrote in there.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit. I think that's interesting.
Man, I'm very realistic. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've had a few like concussions and I get headaches like every day. So I get a lot of migraines. That definitely keeps me down, makes me feel stuck inside, and makes me feel like, there's when you get migraines all the time, sometimes you feel less hope in the world because you're in pain a lot. But man, so that definitely gives me some cynical side to how I feel, because I'm like, yo, fuck it, whatever happens, man. Like, I feel like I'm the kind of person where, like, if all the shit went wrong, like, I would just kind of, like, laugh and try to keep it going, because, you can't let too many things get you down in life, and also, like, you just never know what's going to happen. And I'm open-minded cynic in the sense that, like, yeah, man, I'm down to hear anything, but, like, I'm not sure if I truly believe in anything, you know what I mean? Like, I don't concern myself much with questions about... I love philosophy. I love the spiritual realm, but I don't concern myself much with questions about like things I don't know, things I can't figure out. I love researching. I love learning about it, but like when it comes to God, when it comes to the meaning of life, I'm just trying to live day by day. I'm not concerning myself with an overall grand purpose. My purpose, I feel like I can make whatever I want, and I'm a dreamer in that sense. So that's where I'm at with it.
Do you feel like that kind of philosophy and lifestyle affects your lyrics and the way you write?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a Stoic, and if you know anything about Stoicism philosophy, it's a lot about just like settling where you're at, and a lot of my lyrics have a lot to do with Mother Earth and nature. I rap a lot about, just like stories, and a lot of it is inspired by a lot of like indigenous animistic values. So it kind of does, because a lot of those values are based off of like what I'm seeing, where I am, but also trying to find mythology in that, and a lot of my lyrics are also just about like the struggles I'm going through. What am I doing with my life, right? Like that is the biggest thing for me, man. Just like trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm a Pisces. I'm a constant thinker. I can never know I can never feel fully confident in anything, but when I write a verse, it helps me just decipher how my mind is working and how all the inputs are coming in, and sometimes I write a verse. I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm depressed or happy, but I'm feeling a little off. I write a verse and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's what was bothering me the whole time, And that's the biggest thing for me with music. Like I said, man, this shit's for the inner soul. And doesn't matter if I get big or not, I'm gonna keep doing this no matter what.
Gotcha. And do you have some like goals defined, like some short-term or long-term goals for being, because I think you use the words a real artist in the game.
Yeah, shit.
Real artist in the game. What do you mean by that?
Bro, I'm trying to stay authentic, I don't care about fitting anyone's mold, because that shit's gonna die out anyway.
That's a double-edged sword sometimes, almost like a paradox.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely a double-edged sword. And yeah, dude, I just want to be myself the whole time. I mean, like, look, I'm already kind of an outsider of the game. I'm a brown guy, like a South Asian dude trying to rap, so I'm going to keep at it like that. And like I said, dude, like my goals, my goals are very just like, okay, keep putting out songs, put out EP, put out an album. Obviously the music, I know music is going to keep going with me wherever I go in life. So if it's to say that I have a strict goal, nah, man. Like I'm taking this shit day by day, week by week, month by month. And that's what I mean by being a real artist in the game. I guess it's just like, I'm just going to keep doing this no matter what, right?
That's dope.
So if that's the case, then no matter what happens, I'm going to stick by me and do it for me. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming on, brother. Great chat.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I really do.